Hello there, I'm the thenthapple, and this is Skyrim The Legend of the Frostflow Lighthouse, a brand new series that I'll be starting looking at some of the more lore-ridden areas of Skyrim and more interesting places you can go and visit and kill things in. So the reason I'm doing this is because Skyrim was in high demand and I finally realised there's a lot more lore in this than Fallout or New Vegas. So Frostflow Lighthouse is located here, just to the east of Dawnstar, just to the northwest of Altan, or here just to the west of the College of Winterhold, a place where a family tried to make a new life, a place where they could grow old together, watch their children grow up and leave the nest. But in reality they just all befell a very bad fate that we're going to see in approximately 8 seconds. Yeah. So yes, as we can see there's an individual dead in the ground, a woman, covered in blood, the place is wrecked, there's a dead Chaurus by the fireplace, everything is fucked essentially. So she's dead as a doorknob. She's got an axe embedded in her and somehow her clothes were taken off without the axe being removed. Quite a difficult feat if you ask me. Ramatic can be looted and you can take Habd's journal, Habd turning out to be her husband. You can then read his journal and find out why they came to this lighthouse and what happened here. So Habd's journal. So they've been saving up and they've finally moved into this lighthouse. They've saved up enough, it's on the coast, they say they want to live here, it'll be good. There's going to be some tranquility and they know the kids are old enough to leave the nest, but they want to be with the kids a bit longer. They want to live with the kids a bit longer before they leave. Then he goes on to see that things are missing in the cellar and Sudi is saying that she's hearing strange noises, but her brother, Manny, thinks Sudi's talking a load of shite. And to be honest, in any other position I would probably agree with them. So he then sets out to get some traps and puts them down there, because he thinks, naturally, it would just be skeevers. He then returns home after a day of doing goodness knows what, and Ramatic is dead, all his kids are gone, and the creature is by the fireplace, and he thinks it's a Daedra. He then kills it, and then sets out to save his family. Doesn't go too well, but we'll see that later. So yes, the Chaurus is actually dead by the fireplace, and I have no idea how he killed it, because these things are fucking hard to kill, and a woodcutter's axe is just not going to cut it, excuse the pun. So we can then go into his kid's room, and we can find a couple of things. Okay, Manny's letter and also Sudi's diary. So let's look at Sudi's diary or journal, first of all. So she's saying she hates it here, the spoiled shit that she is, and she wants to leave. They've been here for 2 months. There's magic, there's Winterhold, her dad says don't go near that, they're a bunch of devil worshippers, and she's hearing strange things in the cellar, and things are going missing. She then says she's caught her brother in the cellar, but the second time she heard the noises, her brother was in bed. So her father put the traps down there, Manny won't listen, and she's made a copy of the key to the cellar and put it inside his mother's keepsake. Now what is his mother's keepsake? Well, it's actually the jar, or the urn, on the mantelpiece. But we'll deal with that just a bit later. So then we can actually go under her brother's bed, and we can find in his knapsack, his letter, Manny's letter. So Manny's letter sort of just sums up probably what the worst fear of his parents would have been, which is essentially Manny just saying, fuck this place, I want to go. He thinks Sudi's making up the noises so he won't leave, and he's going to wait till father gets home, and then he's going to leave for Hammerfell. Now we can assume he wrote that letter just after his father left, which means it probably happened just before all this crap happened, everyone died. Yeah, kinda sucks. So in his parents' room we can then find the woman's journal. The wife, Ramatic's journal. So in her journal it's much the same as the husband's. They're here, she loves it, they can find a place to grow old, she can't find her favourite cooking pot, kind of a weird thing to put in a diary. She knows that their kids are going to leave, but their father's getting older, the old age creeping into his eyes, and when he dies he wants his remains placed in the lighthouse fire, which will come into play later. So then she starts blaming the kids for things going missing, pots, pans, a couple of breadboards, cutting boards, etc. And the daughter has told her that there is something down in the cellar, but Manny says it was skeevers because he probably doesn't want a reason to stay anymore. He probably wants to leave and strike out in the world, and the wife, as is rational, agrees, because you're hardly going to think there's a bunch of Falmer and Chaurus fucking around your basement now, are you? That's just ridiculous. Anyway, so after this, you can then descend into the cellar itself, but you're going to need a key to do it, otherwise you're going to have to pick the expert lock. Now the key to said lock is actually located in this little urn right here, and makes the whole process a lot easier, even though if you've gotten this far you've probably already got a good bit of lock picking on you. So Using this we can go into the cellar. The cellar itself has a good bit of blood in it, it has a good bit of missing provisions in it. It's got a couple of Chaurus who I killed, and along the steps we can actually find some of the traps the father clearly left out, so as the skeevers would be caught. Now I find it quite weird because there is blood here, so someone was dragged down here either bleeding or dying. It wasn't the husband because he would have sat down there to try find them. So it was most likely either Sudi or the brother Mani. And this hole here leads into a cave system which was most likely here before the lighthouse was. The Falmers found the lighthouse's bulwark and just broke through it. It's very unlikely the Falmer dug this themselves. So then we can actually proceed down into the Frostflow Abyss and find out exactly where everyone's ended up. So now that we're in the Abyss, we can see some of the things that were missing from the house. Some candles, some brooms, maybe the Falmer decided to clean their fucking act up. Some chopping boards, a couple of pelts, a bit of gold, and a shitload of blood. Leading somewhere. Leading to an altar, where sacrifices may have taken place. Leading to Mani. Yeah, Mani's dead as Tata Bread. Okay, someone stabbed him and killed him. And based on the amount of blood where it's placed in the two stones behind me right now and up here, I think he was sacrificed. Now I don't know to what god or for what ceremony, but it does make sense. Meaning he was probably found in the house, injured and then dragged downstairs. Poor bastard. So after that, you can then progress a bit deeper into the caves, and just how long these have been here becomes apparent based on the amount of gates set up, based on the armour where everything's placed. Means that they've probably been here a while. The corpse of the Chaurus Reaper here, by the way, is a bit of foreshadowing. We're going to have to deal with this Egypt later, okay? And even some of the traps here, so the Falmer clearly expected people to follow, and they've clearly been here a while, based on how built up everything is. Also, there's also some spiders down here, frostbite spiders, and it seems the Falmer also have more relationship with more insects than just the Chaurus. Now whether that's because they're the Falmer or for another reason, we don't know and maybe we'll never find out. But I do think it's interesting. So you get to this deeper area here, there's more Chaurus, there's more Falmer, oh goody! And then we find Sudi. She's dead as a doorknob. Yeah. Not good crack. So there's a bloodstained note and there's a scroll page. The bloodstained note is essentially her just saying this. She should listen to her father. Why didn't she? She was a retard. He's been bitten, he's dragged down here, he's muttering about Daedra, probably from the poison in the bite, and he left her a dagger. Now, what that she did with that dagger, I'll let you figure that out for just a wee second before I talk about it. The scroll page is a lot clearer. He said father came down here, they captured him, he'd asked if they'd seen mother or Mani, and one of the big bugs bit him, and now he's feverish. So this tells us a couple of things. One, he didn't see Mani when he came down, so Mani might have actually arrived after the father came back, came down, gotten stabbed, and then gotten killed. Sudi was pretty brought here for a different purpose, and the knife that the father left her, she used to kill herself, end her life, before any other suffering. Now she did say there were others, but we can't ever find them. Now why she was left alive I don't know. Maybe some type of virgin sacrifice thing, because they clearly needed her alive for some purpose, maybe just for food, maybe for another slightly creepier thing, rape or something. I don't really want to go into that, it's kind of weird, but it could have happened. I don't know, the Falmer are a creepy bunch. You go up here and then you drop down into this wee system here, and we see evidence this cave system was either once open to the air or the ground level was a lot lower, because there's some mammoth skulls here, quite a lot. And let's be honest here, there's no fucking hole for them to get down here. They couldn't have gotten down here other than dying here, so this whole system may have been part of a much lower cave or open area before, and then it just sort of built up over the thousands or tens of thousands of years. So after this, we're going to come into this weird chamber here, and you're going to have to deal, possibly if your level's high enough, or if you break these cocoons open, with a Chaurus Hunter fledgling. Now these things do quite a bit of damage, and I didn't actually know they existed before I went down here. It scared the freaking shite out of me, okay? It just burst out of the cocoon, I fell back off my chair, okay, my back still hurts from it. So we're going to come in here, we're going to find the bastard responsible for all this shite, the Chaurus Reaper. Now the Chaurus Reaper, on him anyway, he has the key, and he has Habd's remains, okay, which come into play later. They are part of this miscellaneous quest. So he takes quite a bit of battering, but you can kill him eventually. So you're eventually going to come to this little space ahead over here, and then you're going to progress up to the cave to the right. Once up there, you can finally drop down this little ledge here, and you'll end up back where you started, where Mani's killed, and also the place where a lot of your companions seem to get stuck because they never bother their arses to drop down off the ledge. Probably because Bethesda's just a little bit too lazy when it comes to companion movement. So once you're back in the lighthouse itself, you can then go up this door, expert lock again, and then up into the lighthouse itself. Once up here, you can actually place Habd's remains inside the lighthouse beacon, as it was said in Sudi's Rabtai's diary that he wanted. It will then give you the active effect Sealer's Repose, which healing spells cure 10% more, and it's permanent by the way. And you'll also get a key to this little safe over here. Now the safe's loot's pretty good wee bit of gold, a ring of lockpicking, locks are 20% easier. Now, it may not be the same for you, you get some shitty boots, we don't know. See this fucking goat? He's been watching me for a while now, it's creeping me out, okay? Last thing you can get in this house is a Torchbug in a jar. Now these are actually quite rare, bugs in jars, so I suggest collecting it, simply because it's a pretty interesting thing to have. Okay, also look at him, okay? This little guy's adorable. Look at him in the jar, looking all happy. Bzzzt. So that is the Frostflow Lighthouse, a place where a family, a mother and a father, went to make a better life for themselves, somewhere they could grow old, they could watch their children for a bit longer, see them grow up a bit more, because they knew they were ready to leave the nest, and Manny was ready to leave the nest. Okay, it seems he may have been actually out of the house, came back, and all his family were dead as fuck. Okay, Sudi, the probably younger and more naive one, was the only one who actually noticed that the sounds clearly were not a skeever, and the purpose of the Falmer kept her alive is probably best left to speculation. Okay, I'm gonna hopefully say maybe a different type of sacrifice. I'm gonna very hesitantly say possibly a sexual nature, or maybe it's because she's a virgin, her sacrifice is worth more, you know, all that gaff. Manny clearly was just titty bred and just killed. The wife was hit with an axe for some reason. Don't know why they didn't take her. That was what makes me think it's something to do with virginity and all that, because she was just as good as, you know, Sudi was in terms of food or whatever, so they could have just taken her, but she'd already had kids, so it was apparent that she wasn't. And Habd really just got eaten by a Chaurus Reaper and attributed nothing to the situation. So yeah, that is the Frostflow Lighthouse, a very interesting little place full of a bit too much death for this apple's liking, but makes for good stories. And there are many other good stories in Skyrim, and interesting locations and secrets, and if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I want to make this a new series. I feel it will be as popular, if not a good bit more so, than my Fallout one, because there's more lore and it's a more played game. And I hope you did enjoy this episode, okay? Just a way experimentation, so any feedback, likes, favourites, subscribes, comments, I love comments, will tell me just how much you thought of this and just if you thought it was good enough. And if it was good enough, well then I hope that you'll stick around for a bit more, because I will definitely make more. And I hope you will definitely stick around for my next episode. And goodbye. Alright, you know what it is? See this goat? I've had enough of you. You've been watching there, you've been grazing on stones for a while there. I'm gonna put a big arrow in your hole. You think you're gonna get away? You think you're gonna run? You're not. I've got you. Done. You can go for a wee ski down the slope. Is that your family over there, mate? Is that your wee family? How about I kill your wee family, you shit? This is the end of the episode. You reached it. Here, have a metaphysical high five. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave some feedback in the comments section below. If you have any suggestions for future content, I would love to hear them. Or just to hear you talking to me in general, because it's pretty good crack. If you want to talk to me on a more regular and or personal and or quicker level, follow me on Twitter at thenthapple. If you want to get regular updates to my content, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like? And if you want to let other people see it and help me grow, I always appreciate shares, because sharing is caring. And as always, I hope I will see you in my next episode. And goodbye.